He is widely known for walk to work and his endless battles with Ugandan police. Physician, politician, former rebel and military officer, the now most famous Ugandan opposition leader is who we unveil on this episode of Life Stories. Only this time, we focus on his other side of existence not so many have bothered to know. Born on the 22nd of April 1956 in Rukunjiri district, coming second in a family of 6, the now famous opposition politician Dr. Besigye Chifefe was orphaned at a tender age while in primary school. However, through the hurdles, young Chiza managed to make it all the way. Attending secondary at Kitanti and Chigezi high schools, he later enrolled at the Makerere University of Medicine and graduated with a medical degree in 1980. In the advent of Museveni becoming president in 1986, the 29-year-old then was appointed Minister of State for Internal Affairs and went on to occupy several other positions in the government over time. He married Winnie Byanyima in 1999 and they have since had one child. He resigned from the army shortly before contesting against his long-term ally, President Museveni, during the 2001 elections. With his undying passion for leadership, he went on to form a political party, Forum for Democratic Change, FDC. On this episode of the program, 57-year-old doctor, retired colonel and politician Chiza Besigye takes us through his life story. I'm Zuena Chiremasali. Welcome to Life Stories. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure many people out there have different names that they call you. Others call you Daddy, like Ansel. Others call you Doctor. Others call you a hero. In your own words, who is Dr. Chiza Besigye?
Well, Besigye is a Ugandan, born and raised in the southwestern district of Rukunjiri. Actually, my village is also Rukunjiri, which has now turned into a municipality. But when I was born there, it was, a village. And there was a small trading center where my father worked in that trading center. And, I was born at home, not in hospital. And the room and house where I was born is still
Intact.
Still there in my village. So I have got very sentimental attachments to it. This is where I was born, in this this room, not in the hospital, but here. I think some people are living here now. And, that's where I was raised for most of my childhood.
How was it growing up? Where did you attend school?
Well, actually, I went to school nearby my home called Chinyasano. And I didn't go through nursery school or kindergarten or whatever they call it.
Because they're too bright?
And they weren't in my village. So my mom, who happened to have been a teacher, was then my nursery teacher at home. As a teacher of all of us at home. Because when she got married, she retired from teaching, active teaching in the schools. So we benefited from that experience at home. And I went to school slightly before I was due to go because my sister, who was older, was going to school and I refused to stay at home. I remember very vividly the first day I went to school because, I was given my school fees, which I think was 3 shillings in coins. And I went, holding on to it very tightly. I went with an elder step brother of mine, a cousin actually, a son of my uncle, but who grew up in my family. And I had been told to take the money to the office. When we reached school, this man just said, "That is the office." So I went to the office, but it was closed. So I placed my money at the office, on the doorstep,
Okay.
and went back home.
Wow.
And when I got home, they said, "Why are you back?" I said, "Well, I found the office closed." "Where is the money?" I said, "At the office." "Where you said I should take it."
I know.
And
They didn't tell you should give it to someone, no? Just take
no,
it to the
they
office.
said, "So you didn't pay it to anybody? You don't have a receipt?" I said,
No.
"There was no one. Just left it there."
Yeah.
And I think, it reflects on the times because, of course, I was dragged back to the school.
How old were you then?
I was not yet 5.
Wow.
I think I was about 4.5 or something.
Okay.
And when we got there, the clerk in the office said, sure, they had found money on the door.
Oh, no. Lucky you.
I think it's lucky times.
Yes.
That was a different
Yes.
time, when people were decent and honest. And so that's how I started school. And, I stuck in there. I was always the smallest in the class.
Were you teased?
Not really.
Okay.
I think I was a bit spared because indeed I think it's because I was simply tiny.
Okay.
I think people sympathized with me. We enjoyed, walking to school, and we would walk to school in the morning and walk back home for lunch and walk back to school after lunch.
How many miles were there from school to home?
No, it is not a mile. It is maybe, I think at most a kilometer. In time, I got, some friends whom we walked along together. So this is our path to school. Schools were very strict. They would ring loud bells, gong, and they would ring the first one, which was a warning one, and the last one when you had to be queued up in your classes for inspection.
That is every day?
Every day, every morning. So the teachers would inspect to see whether you have clean uniforms, whether your nails are trimmed, whether your teeth are cleaned, whether your hair is combed, whether you are neat and ready to go to class. And then they would address us on whatever they wanted to address us on. Those who have committed some mistakes at school could sometimes be punished.
Something most of us know about you is you attended Kitante High School. So how did you come from Rukunjiri to Kitante?
Well, I also had change in school. In primary, I went to Mbarara Junior School, and it was very difficult, leaving home for the first time to such a faraway place, to stay alone there. It was a wonderful experience, I think, looking backwards, that I was able to be independent at that early age. That was, I think, a very helpful experience, especially considering that subsequently I was to lose both my parents when we were young, and therefore that early training in being independent, I think, came in quite handy. Because indeed, when I was completing my primary living, my father passed away suddenly. And yeah, that was quite traumatic, of course. So yeah, but nonetheless I did. So I went back and did my primary living at Kinyasan after the death of my father. And that's how I came to Kitante High School in 1972. We were studying half day. So in the earlier years, we would go only in the afternoon. In the latter years, we would only go in the morning.
Losing both parents at an early age is an almost definite setback for most, but minus either of his heroes, Lady Luck was on his side, with an auntie coming to their rescue to groom and raise teenage Besigye and his siblings. To the greatest degree of sincerity, retired Colonel Besigye notes that he had his own bumpy times as a young adult, trending with almost everything that came at the time. Still to expect on Life Stories, retired Colonel Chiza Besigye unveils how he ended up joining the bush to fight for freedom.